Usually the main characters has terrific looking stands and generally useful for different situations, but there are also characters who have bad stands, but there are characters who are great and who ultimately end up winning our sympathy. Today we will not talk about main characters alone, but kick-ass characters that have weak stands in general. I figure this will be a great topic to contrast what's already been said about nifty stands having better users. But before I begin, it's important that you leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and hit the bell for notifications. What character you think will appear in this list? Leave a comment down below. Alright, let's get to the video. Emperor's Whole Horse Stand, which is represented by the tarot card of the same name. Emperor is basically a revolver with minimal peculiarities. The way Whole Horse draws it is very fast, and Whole Horse can use this power in a stealthy way to surprise his enemies, just as he did to Dio at one point, but since he is a coward, that didn't amount to anything. Whole Horse can divert the path of bullets, which are an extension of his own stand, and he can make this change of route with very advanced forecast and speed, and shift the bullet to any direction that he wants. For example, in one occasion, he had his bullets circle around Silver Chariot's rapier. The bullets are not made of a powerful material, and has a very limited range, and when they reach this limit, they lose all their power, which limits the stand quite a bit. But that's not the main factor that makes the stand weak. That is because its user, despite being called Whole Horse, is actually a donkey and don't know how to use his stand properly. You can argue Okuyasu is more intelligent than Whole Horse. That's not saying much though. But anyways, as you know, the initial idea for part 3 was that Avdo was supposed to die shot in the head and Whole Horse would take his place in the group, which did not happen, but Crazy Diamond's demonic heartbeat kind of piggybacks off of that idea. But in this case, it's a matter of Whole Horse not being suitable to use this stand specifically. The point is that we can't help but find him very charismatic and charming. Hermit Purple's the stand of Joseph Joestar, and possibly Jonathan's stand also, despite not appearing in the anime/manga. Later it was confirmed that Jonathan got a stand that he could not actually use in life, which is referred to as the Passion in the novel George Joestar, and in spite having different names, the Passion has the same ability as Hermit Purple. Its appearance is that of a stem of a rose full of thorns. It can be invoked similarly to Emperor, and its power is used in a fairly varied way, like channeling Hamon energy through it, and invading animatronic systems to access memories. He uses this to reveal whatever he wants at the moment through a photo after beating the crap out of a camera, and by connecting these tentacles with an electronic device, he was able to see that Lovers was inside of his head. He even stabilized the plane by plugging Hermit Purple on the ignition. Its power could very well be useful in the first season, but due to the scarcity of vampires, zombies, and creatures of the night, it is rendered as just a tracking stand and as a means of transportation that resembles Spider-Man. Not that impressive a stand. Even so, its user is exceptional and does his best to save who he loves. He has this kind of clown personality to fool enemies, and went from Japan to where Judas lost his boots to save his daughter who was being killed by her own stand. Beyond being sassy and smart, Joseph is also extremely lucky, and to top it all off, he's the inventor of the Joestar's secret technique, and that's why he became so many people's favorite character in the series. Joseph has gained the respect and admiration of all JoJo fans for being an extremely based character. Pearl Gems, the stand of Tonio Trussardi, and it looks a lot like an onion with a cucumber on its head, and despite that sour face, it's not an aggressive stand, and it's quite beneficial for its quote-unquote victims. Its power is that when absorbed by someone, it heals that people's diseases, even incurable ones, but these diseases are cured in a way that's quick and unconventional, and it makes for a really practical exfoliator. An example would be when Okuyasu started scratching and ripping away dead skin, and I don't know about you, but that scene always gives me the shivers. Anyways, for that to happen, Tony first needs to diagnose someone by reading their hands, as if he was a gypsy doctor, and then he prepares a specific dish to cure that disease. And the more serious is the ailment, the more high-end and quality ingredients need to be used in the recipe. The dish is changed depending on the disease, and there is no real limits to the stand really, as far as curing illnesses go, for the stand could even heal Tonio's girlfriend's cancer. You might wonder, a stand that can cure cancer, isn't that an amazing power to have? Well, it is, but in a universe where Wonder of You, Gold Experience Requiem, and the Holy Corpse exist. Well, not exactly the same universe, but you get what I mean. It just pales in comparison. Pearl Gem seems like a good fit for Tonio's talents, but he has all the makings of a true hero, even if it doesn't seem like the case. And I can see him doing amazing things with a stand like Crazy Diamond or Gold Experience, taking on a more active role and putting down threats like Yoshikage Kira. Moody Blues is the stand of Abaku. It has specifically the ability to recreate and replay past events with extreme accuracy, allowing Abaku to freely investigate events. Moody Blues is able to transform into a doppelganger of any character Abaku chooses, and reproduce that character's past actions and words. Moody Blues has a digital timer on its forehead that tells him when to play. This stand can recreate occasions dating back to years prior, in all likelihood decades and beyond. However, the farther away the occasion is within sight, the greater the time Moody Blues should spend motionless to attain it. Thus, he needed to stay defensiveless for 8 to 10 minutes due to the fact that Abaku investigated the Diavol's past with Donatella Una at the seashores of Sardinia 15 years ago. Other than that, the stand can overcome some weaker stands in direct combat, but its strength is nothing to write home about. Once again, the power of Moody Blues seems tailor-made for Abaku, since all he would really want to do is to go back to the point he turned a blind eye to the criminal who killed his partner when he was still a police officer. By just thinking about how Moody Blues' ability should have been less abstract and more literal, you start to question whether that's the right stand for our friend Abaku. Emporiu's stand burning down the house, as you're well aware of, is a secret ghost room which can be entered through a discreet passage within Green Dolphin Street Prison, to which only he may grant entry, and the room contains a number of imperishable objects. You'd think that such a reliable guy would have been naturally born with a better stand than a ghost room. That reason is more than good enough to put him on this list. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Also hit the bell for notifications, and with that being said, see you in the next one. Thanks for watching this video.